Good afternoon, or good morning, good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to the City of Glens Falls Water and Sewer Board meeting. It's Monday, November 3rd, just after 2 p.m. The first thing up, we have public participation. I don't see anybody here regarding from the public. Peter, if anybody joins us online and would like to speak up, please let us know, okay? Great. Second, we have our infamous stormwater moment. Bill?
Yes, this month we see how trash can get into creeks and streams and waterways that lead to our water bodies, between dumpsters, leaking dumpsters, overflowing trash trucks, litter from cars and trucks, garbage trucks and truck beds, illegal dumping, something down on watershed properties, illegal campgrounds, fast food or convenience stores, dumping around storm drains and everything leads to them. Just gives you a whole little picturesque situation how these things can occur and how to prevent why they should.
Sure.
I gotta say, this month I had it out on the kitchen table as I was reading through my packet, and my kids got drawn to it just because of the nature of the art and read every word. Probably about 20 minutes of questions and what ifs and how it is, and I can't believe that. And I was like, oh my God.
That's great.
We just need a good graphic designer.
It is a good idea.
Yeah.
Should probably share it with some of the Glens Falls and Queensbury teachers.
Yeah.
We can get some of this to them so they can understand. All right, next up on our agenda is billing issues. I don't know, do we have any billing issues?
We had one that just came in. It wasn't in the packets because we just got it.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I did not get
Okay,
the wrong
you can
copy.
share this one.
sure.
Mr. Dries, he called last week. He had put a irrigation system in. So he opened his bill and was a little surprised. He has no issues with the water, but he doesn't understand why he's got to pay the sewer portion.
And then how many other people?
I tried to explain that to him. I said, you can obviously write a letter to the Sewer and Water Board. They'll take it under consideration. Our workshop meeting is going to be a regular meeting. It's going to be a special meeting because we're going to have some budgetary items we have to work on. So we can put this off till then, or if you get a chance to review it, and we go from there.
Irrigation, for what, like a garden?
No, it's lawn.
So he's
Sprinkler system.
watering his lawn and increased his water bill $181.
And also increases sewer bill based on water usage. But how many people in Glens Falls have sprinkler systems and do the same thing?
The sewer bill. I think that's what you're saying. None of that
Went
water
up
went
to,
down.
or was that? That was the total
No,
amount.
it's includes the month. Yeah. That was the sewer portion.
Okay.
This is the water portion.
I mean, you have to have software changes and everything else. to
Yeah,
go in there, and maybe
There we don't have subtracting.
it's a huge expense.
So we can obviously table this until the 17th. Obviously, you wanted to know by the 21st, so I'll let him know and make a decision on the 17th.
I remember pushing into this years ago with Steve and thinking like, you guys remember this, I think we got a response of the only way to do it is to have, you have to pay for a whole other water service coming in off the main, which who's going to pay for that dig and all that stuff, so that's crazy expensive. And then even if you did that, there'd have to be periodic inspections to see if somebody's tapped off it. Because if you then decide to switch your whole house over to it in your own basement, nobody would know, and then there'd be no sewer. You know, you just have all this water supply and no sewer or something like that. So it was something that we didn't have the ability to monitor, and something we didn't have. Nobody would have the the bang for the buck realization if they did choose to go that route. And if it really had to get down to it, there would have to be a significant amount of sprinkler system having people saying, yeah, we do want to do this, and yeah, we do submit to periodic random inspections, and that all that would have to cost something. So in the end, you'd probably be paying more or the same going through all that stuff than just leaving it the way it was. So,
Some people have individual wells,
yeah.
if they're shallow enough, they can get down and use it.
For their irrigation system or for everything?
For irrigation.
We had a system where I used to work, we had 2 meters, you know, one for the irrigation, one for the plant itself, you know, but it takes a lot of plumbing to do it. I'll say it was in Queensbury and they had the software capable of
Yeah,
putting it, we don't have that, so then we have to buy the software to do it. We did pretty
The
sizable
season's rolling
expense.
6 weeks. Mine's been shut down for over a month.
Then you'd have to have a backflow preventers. and
Shut what?
You have to have it inspected.
Right? You might say, well, you know, now you want to keep an eye on it. And, you know, you could remove the increased sewer once and say, so now you know every time you turn that on, you are going to raise both. And moving forward, now you know. So you decide whether it's worth it or not.
Cost of doing business.
Right?
The sewer charge, included in the sewer charge,
Well, your water bill's about 2/3 of it is the sewer bill, and it's higher.
It's based on assessment.
Yeah.
He could, even if you gave him relief from this one bill, he could then decide if he wants to dig a well to put his thing or pay the additional sewer that he's going to pay. Right? He has some options.
Yeah, there's an option on its own.
Then
We gave the relief if you're over number 2 and 1.
that's, you set a precedent.
All right, never mind.
I got a question about, I had a friend, neighbor, who just this last summer hired somebody to redo her roof and hadn't realized that you need permits to redo, and it's something that already was, and was heavily informed by the code enforcement. This seems funny that you can put in a whole plumbed system, digging up a yard, there's nothing here that they need to go by the city to do, because I feel like if they did, then there could be a, hey, just so you know, here's how we figure the water, and here's what you're gonna run into.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any permits required, other than like a call before you dig so you don't hit anything.
Dig safe, but I don't know.
You gotta have the backflow and then you actually do.
If they hit the sidewalk, then that's different. They should be
Yeah.
getting a permit, but if they're on their own property, I don't think building code says anything for a sprinkler system.
Yeah, so should there be a $1 one? You know, like that's the way we could say, hey man, even that doesn't seem all that practical, but
Or maybe some question and answers on our website that before they go and do it, helping them explain, right? We definitely,
Yeah.
from day one, we've talked about that most people have no idea what they're paying for in their water and sewer bill. They don't understand the linkage, they don't understand the fees, they don't, right? They make assumptions about, well, you know, 12 months versus quarterly billing, right? I think that education of the water and sewer bill and the impact when water goes up, sewer goes up, that we don't meter the two, that should be part of that information that they could at least understand. Right? Instead of having the increase and then go, oh, hey, what happened here? It doesn't make sense.
there's nothing downtown that ticks off or gives some sort of, hey, something just happened when property, like residential property, is purchased or something, right? That's private and in real estate agents' hands and all that stuff. There's no real notice to City Hall.
Notice in what way?
I don't know.
Yeah,
When the mortgage is
Change the
filed,
deed.
Yeah,
You know,
something
Sure.
else would be notified.
The assessor's office.
Assessor's office
Is
be
the deed.
notified.
The deed has to be changed.
This guy may have a friend in Queens where he says, hey, I don't pay sewer, I just pay for the water, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he has a deduct
Right.
meter on his irrigation system.
It'd just be cool if you got like a, you know, when you moved in, major points, you know, in some kind of quick mailer or something, I don't know, but it doesn't, I don't think there's any way to.
Attorneys.
I think we need to look at different opportunities to educate people, and when they purchase a new property, sure, it's worth looking at. I don't know how we do it. We struggle to communicate interdepartmentally as it is,
Did you
between
send
building and codes and,
a thing out to the realtors,
Right, yeah.
in the area, and just say,
Think
you
we-
know, you're having this problem in Glens Falls, this is one thing to tell people when
Yeah.
you're buying a home. You know, if you do put a irrigation,
have one
or
that's
sprinkle
putting
in
it in.
your yard, you're gonna pay sewer, the water and sewer tied together.
We only have one meter, and that's metering both your
You know,
water.
Have to read the whole code, you know? You have to read, code, the, water sewer code and sanitary code, you have to know everything. You have to work forever to read it.
sure.
Know all that stuff.
Right. Well, I know that when I worked for Special Olympics, I would, so everybody would say if you were entering a team in the softball tournament, you were expected, you were a coach, you had to go through it and become a coach, and you needed to know the rules. That didn't stop me at the state games from not making a highlight of the most misunderstood rules that I would share with them before that tournament, so that they couldn't, when they got called on it by the official, that I was making sure those officials are making the calls as they were supposed to and following the rules. That we do have more and more of this happening from, you mentioned the building and codes thing. We have a competent building and codes department that is following the law as never before, and there are more people angry about it and accusing us. Same with parking, right? We're trying to address these issues. We have, I believe, to get back to the statement, we're now just finishing up on 2 assessments done, and the council is very much interested in the results of those assessments. I think for different reasons than this board is. This board's interested because we want to know where we compare with other regions, and we want the justification of what we're doing and how it makes sense, right? But they keep hearing the same misinformation that's been prevalent in water and sewer across Glens Falls forever. We need to be thinking about that, educating people, because we know that makes sense of what you're doing and what we're doing. But if you're not on this board, you have no idea. You believe, I think one of the things we're going to learn is that we're in the middle of fees for water and sewer. We're in the middle of the communities around us. There is a widespread false assumption that we are twice the amount of Queensberry and all these things, right? We need to educate people. My thought was we need to educate them by monthly billing. Except to do that, it's going to cost us $60,000, $70,000 more a year, right? So we can't. That can't be how we do it. But we do need to do it, right? Nobody, including me, I struggle to read my water and sewer bill and understand it. And I have the experience of you guys, right? So we need to find a way to educate people about it. I tried to educate people on the homelessness issue, and it ended up being a 2-page article thing in the Chronicle, and more people angry at me, and they didn't really want to know the difference. They didn't want to know what all the things that we are doing on both good and bad in these things. And they're continuing to struggle. We need to help with this, the education of the value of our water and sewer, and why we determine this and how it is done, and that we're not raking them over the coals. We're running a good water and sewer treatment plant, and that we're providing a great value for this, less than you pay for your cell phone. But we have to educate.
You know what I like is the notice thing. I get an email. I signed up for it on the city site somewhere.
Yeah.
And they just, watch Bacon Street, by the Stewart's downtown. We were digging it up, and don't go there today. And there's a new thing in a park. There's, paving this, that. You get more like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And everybody I mentioned that to, they now think I'm clairvoyant. And I'm like, no, just go to the city website, put your email address in. And most people don't know about it, never heard of it. I don't even know if they do it when I chastise them to go do it, but if there was some way to get people to sign up for that more, it's great. Because it comes out before you even see people start reposting on Facebook, which most people catch things there. But that's a really good source that I feel like people need to know about.
We don't have a way to communicate with everybody in our community.
Yeah.
We don't have a way to communicate with, like, compared to like a university, right? You get an emergency and you get a text, everybody, you know, I don't want to use the example of the shooter, but, right? We don't have everybody's thing. We're good at, the only thing we're really good at is sending you your bill. And certainly we struggle with that.
I was gonna say, that's worse.
Was the struggle, but right, I mean, but other than that, right, there's no way for you to, and we say, well, it's on the website, and what fraction of a percentage of people look at our website and information? They're much more likely to look on Facebook, and they'll see any negative thing you can do. So I think it's a big thing, that education and how we're gonna help people be aware of all the great things that are going on. And we do have See-Click Fix too, but we haven't been able to implement it in Swan. We gotta finish our budget this month. Go ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's next week, resolution.
Resolution. 1A is an approval of the water and sewer minutes from the October 6, 2025 meetings. Anybody have any questions about the minutes, corrections, suggestions? Not hearing any. Do we have a motion to approve?
Sure.
Motion, second, Peter? Did you have a question? No. Can I put you down for a second?
Yes.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And then the warrant. Everybody's got a copy of the warrant in their packet. Any questions, comments, concerns? Not? Do we have a motion to approve? Do we have a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Yep.
There we go. Did you have a question, Peter? No. All right. And then under discussion, the MS4 Coalition.
Okay, we're continuing with Warren County, trying to get the building out. That seems to be the most economical way to go. They're handling all the rest of MS4 communities, Queensbury, Latrobe. Yeah. Yep. So we're working with Rel and Jim on that. Hopefully next month's meeting I'll have something to show us. Timber sale, foresters out there, loggers out there, I'm sorry. So they're in the process of doing that. They're moving along. As the mayor said, we're right in the middle of the budget process. More than the middle, almost to the end.
99%.
Almost to the middle. Almost to the end, so actually. We'll have something for you, like I said, on that 17th, will be a special meeting. We'll vote on the rates. The purpose of that meeting is so that we can vote on our rates, so that they go to the common council.
28th, the council will pass the full budget. We've got a public hearing on the, I believe, the 10th, and then the 25th, I'm sorry, is the date of the last council meeting in November that will pass the budget.
And Megan, they need those for that meeting. Yeah. So, looks like the sewer rate's going to remain the same.
Raises the status of this suggestion.
Oh, they're in there.
The ones that you requested.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
He agreed with you, and the council agreed.
So they're. So along with that is, I think I spoke at the last meeting that our meter purchases prices have not gone up since I've been here, probably a couple years before that. So we've adjusted those, so that'll be part of the packet. And also, we're going up a penny on the septage. We're trying to mimic what we go up, what it's costing us to get rid of our biosolids. So it's roughly an 11% increase. So we're going from 10 to 11 cents. We have not gotten the contract, but they said we'll be good for 3 years. I keep pestering them to get us something, so we have something ready. But just for right now, they're saying we're good. But it's always good to get something.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of trying to do
Maybe
that.
if they come. 3 more?
3 more. No, we're gonna keep it. Yeah, we're gonna keep that, and thank you, Emma. And we're also gonna, remember, we wanted to include a new language in the ordinance, so that'll be part of the package for the special meeting. So that we can have a resolution to send that to the city council so they can adopt it into the codes.
The gentleman who wanted
Remember, so it's,
so
so
it's a
it's,
sewer
where
tap.
it says right here that the city says they'll do the taps. Well, we'll add a paragraph that says if the city has the means and the methods and the availability, they'll do it. Otherwise, we expect you to get someone to take care of it. And it may come to the point where maybe, I didn't want to just eliminate it right now, but it may come to the point where in a year or two we just eliminate it and put it right onto the homeowner commercial property or the street. To go ahead and do that. And just as long as we still have the right to inspect to make sure everything's good. Because we don't want to keep going back. Electrical update, we had that workshop meeting on the 8th. I just spoke to Chris Pierce from Red Pierce that they're working on the minutes from that meeting. We should have them hopefully by the end of the week. And then we'll go over that a little bit, and then we should have 99% drawings of all, everything done by the 10th of December. Yep, that's the 90%.
That's it? Holy cow. Is that all? That's great.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at, $20 million.
You're gonna have a lot of time looking at
Oh yeah, that's why it's probably going to be a 90-day bid period.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, it's going to have to take a while for them to get through that, and then that's the issue because no one knows, materials, availability, and delivery.
You can't put that out to bid until the council.
Yep. No, we know that. Yeah. I'm just saying, once everything's approved from that time to when the bid hits the street to when the bids are due, probably going to be 90 days.
You take 90 days to read through it.
45, no less than 45.
Wow. All right.
All right.
Not a small project.
No. Truck purchase, that's looking at this year's budget. We have some line items that we have some money left. One of the field crews dump trucks just failed. The engine went. It cost us $15,000 to rebuild the engine and another $15,000 for the body. So it's just not worth putting, just money into bed.
That's what we've been talking about, getting some kind of
Yeah.
trunk finder.
Yeah, and that's what we tried, yeah,
Kind of
probably.
like what the fire department does.
Yeah, so maybe, and we talked about that, but some of this debt service coming off of the electric, or the sewer side, again, we're gonna have some going in, but, that may, again, I said that project is a $20 million project that we're looking at, bonding for 30, 35 years. I'd be very comfortable with, so, even though it's going back on, it may not be as much that's coming off.
Don't we have a loss for the piece of equipment we put in or something else?
No, we're trying to muddle through. We have one, but usually we have two that run. So right now we're down to one, and
Who was borrowing?
they're flat out too right now. They got the paving going, the leaf and fall pickups. So Tommy's pretty flat out right now. So that's, and then the water department has a pickup truck that's just.
Yeah, it's gonna be into
That one? No, this is even there. This is the one that they have. That, step on the floorboards. It keeps coming on. It's just riding out. So I'm pretty confident that we have enough money in the two budgets to purchase the trucks. I've sent the bids to Kerry. We're piggybacking on a Dago It's either Onondaga or Oneida, I can't remember which one. But she said it's okay, she can use that bid and go out. Like the state, almost like a state bid, so. So once, I was waiting until November, they've been bugging me, is the polite way to put it. But I said, I wanna wait till November to see exactly where we are, so that I'm pretty confident that we have the funds.
Fit it in the
I
budget.
wanted,
Current budget.
yeah, I wanted to put this down, I was gonna get it up, but I didn't get a chance to. Bob McDonald, who's one of the operators up at the water treatment plant, was out on the watershed property doing his rounds, and he ran across some trespassers, and he said, "You can't be there." And they said, "Oh, well, it's on this All Trails app, it's right there on the app." So he looked at the app, and sure enough, there's a bunch of trails. It doesn't say they're approved, but it says there's a bunch of trails on it. So he came back and he contacted all trails, and they said, well, according to the Queensbury site that we went off, these are approved trails. He says, no, that's not accurate. So they sent it to their legal department, who said, well, then we just have to get something from whoever, Queensbury, whoever it is, you know, to eliminate them. And he said, well, let me get David involved. So I sent it to David, and he said, you know, these apps, including, you know, All Trails, are notorious for this. He said that, he wrote back in an email that him and his son and a bunch of his son's friends walked into cab span from the road, I guess, up on Lake George, and they were stopped by the landowner. And he said, you know, this is the app we're following. And he said, well, that's private property. You're not supposed to be here. The gentleman, he said, it was very nice. He said, you can continue. But he said, basically, after that app came out, it's like a highway through his property. So we're trying to find out exactly what we need to do. So we're in communication back and forth with All Trails, but I think it's going to need some sort of discussion with Queensbury. Have that stuff eliminated off this app. And this is only one app. I don't know how many.
Thank you for following through and sniffing it out and kicking it up to you. And it's nice that somebody just didn't throw up their hands. I appreciate that a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, they do have the approved in bright green color. They have the approved one Halfway Brook Trail, you know, Powder Road, Peggy, and then the Van Dusen
Yep.
one. Yeah, that's approved. But there's all little specks of all little trails that looks like that are on this app that seem like they're legitimate.
So if we send them a note from our attorney that we'll take them down?
I'm not sure just from the attorney, but that's what I wanted to see with David, who get together with him. So unfortunately, David's on
If you
vacation
look
this
at
week.
a local topographical map, and you'll see deep trails like I used to drive them all the way over to the zone and stuff in watershed property.
Yeah.
Those are all on the maps, and those are the top of maps.
And that's the other thing, we had a meeting this morning, the water treatment plant that we have every Monday morning, and we were looking at the signs. You know, I've probably all driven along different highways and you see watershed property, and then entering watershed property or leaving watershed property. So we look at signs like that, maybe along the roads, and then at each entrance to each one of our reservoirs, saying, this is the Wilkie Glens Falls Wilkie Street watershed property. Please, no trespassing, no garbage, no thank you, something like that.
Great.
So it's a little bigger than the posts that are on the sign that says no trespassing.
That's sweet.
Is there any movement on the rangers trails?
We did speak about that. David did send me a letter that he had wrote to the mayor, and I think the mayor is still reviewing the one for the EC officer. And then
Didn't John say we should probably wait?
I think John said
Misunderstood.
something on the steward that he thought it was a part of a bigger package. But I think right now, because of the election tomorrow, I think John was not engaged too much in it right now. So, but I think after tomorrow we will probably revisit and try to get something accomplished. Because Jim is the one who's communicating with John more than water and soil.
It makes sense, and it was approved by the council, so we should just go ahead and sign it. Remember, go ahead, sorry.
The DEC officer said, yeah.
Like I said, I think he does work good.
You said that, yeah.
It's the same one, it's the one that works.
Even though he said that, weren't we thinking of working with more?
I think we were looking at both.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, the DC officer's obviously all over the place, so he's not here all the time.
And certain times of year, he's getting busy.
Yeah, busy vacation.
So I think we need an agreement.
I think, yep, and I think that would be advantageous to have both.
Yeah. But John's gonna want also the contract to go out.
Probably.
No, no.
Yep.
That's what he was referring to.
Yeah.
So we want the enforcement approved before we approve it.
At the same time,
Yeah.
is what John
Yes.
wants, yes. Anyway, go ahead and approve our first half and then we'll see what happens, right? All right. Let's see, so, personnel, I don't think we have any personnel issues.
New people working out on the road crew?
Yeah, Dan seems to be very happy.
Yeah, I was out walking and sort of going. He's
Yeah.
gonna throw a boomer on the poles like the young guy did there.
You know what, no matter how many times you tell Boomer not to get into the hole,
He's the first
I
one.
was just over on Leonard Street and I walk up, and both times I walked up, you know, Boomer's in the hole. And right next to him is Dave White, and then he had one of the young kids with him, but the other kids, you know, he's the runner, so. You know,
It's Philo, first in, last out,
Yeah, there you go.
right?
Yeah.
Philo School of Management.
so. But yeah, they seem to be working out. I think pretty much, we're pretty well fully staffed. I think we only have an opening here for an attendant that we're not pressing for right now. So,
Yes, a good, overflow the other day.
oh yeah. Not only do we have an overflow, but when we get heavy rains like that, it affects the water treatment plant. It affects, yeah, it really affects the turbidity coming from the upper watershed. With all the organics that's getting carried so quickly. So Ricky Smith's been, if you had Harry, he'd be pulling it out. So he was, we were in contact all weekend back and forth because he was switching back and forth between Halfway Brook
Oh,
and
did you have
and actually, you know, that's what normally happens is Halfway Brook really doesn't get affected by that as much as the upper watershed does. So he usually switches to that. Yesterday he had some issues with Halfway Brook with some of the metering. It said we were making more water than was coming in from the meter, so we were trying to figure that out. So then he went back, finally got it back late last night, probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock, to where the upper junction usually takes a day or maybe a few hours for it to settle down, depending on the volume. But we almost got 3 inches of rain. It was, we thought down here it was 1.2, and then I went up there, and on the rain came from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. it was 2.94 inches. It was a lot.
I know we went on Walnut Street Thursday morning. They were driving through a lake.
And they were really well. Just down to the right.
Yeah, is that near?
I'm sure the leaves are.
Miller
clear.
Mechanical?
So these are
Yeah, I mean it's got to circumvent its way around, and then it's carrying the leaves to the catch basins.
What about the places that we fix, like over by what we used to call Dango's, Lake Dango, or Lake,
they're all building swimming.
Dugan swimming hole. Exactly. It's all better now.
That was fine.
I didn't know Sanford Street either.
Didn't get any calls from, and the last few storms I've been by,
Sanford Logan dip there.
26 Sanford,
All right.
we were out to haven't gotten any calls from him, and then Pickford, and then Horicon. We were getting a lot of calls from Horicon, but we replaced about 40 feet of storm line, and since that, it seems we repaired one catch basin. I think it was on the corner of Horicon and Crandall. And since that, it seems to, I've been by several times, but during that storm, I didn't get any calls.
Oh, and we should make a list of fixes or something. We should talk about it, because those calls that you don't get are as important as the ones that you do get.
Going all right there from the school, right? would very much.
Right, right. I mean, those are important,
That's another.
because you
one that
can't
goes
just
back
forget
over.
it the moment that we don't get complaints about it anymore, because you never, it's always just moving on to the next complaint, and by the time you're done, one, another one's gonna come, it's the way it is, it never ends, it's the list that never ends, so at least we should talk about the successes and the calls we didn't get. If you don't talk about them, nobody will.
Possible for a quick executive session, real quick.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh,
I think we just, say
Well, I
like
don't
we're
think
going
we
to-
can go into executive session without is there a legal reason? Do you want to?
No, it's just discussion.
Yeah, no, we can talk, but, as long as.
Have something to talk after.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just trying to get Ellie out of here.
There you go.
No, I already did. I was late, that was a problem.
So, water and sewer workshop meeting, next one is November 17th, 2 p.m.
That's gonna be a special meeting, like we said, because
Thank you.
we're gonna vote on the sewer rates,
Great.
sewer water.
And then the regular water and sewer board meeting Monday, December 8th.
Did I get that wrong? Is it supposed to be the
It's
first?
supposed to be the first.
The
I was
first
just gonna
Monday,
say, I was
right?
like,
Yeah, it's the
okay.
first.
So then
There
it's
we go.
gonna
Sorry,
be
guys.
December first, okay.
All right. Any other? Anything else? We have a motion to close?
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.